Do you know what has caught the attention of the anti-aging community, biohackers, and Hollywood? It's a molecule called NAD. It's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Don't worry, not going to be a test on it. We call it NAD. Why has it caught the attention of Hollywood?
Well, I know they're paying $800 a drip for an IV.
So it must be super important
Super
if
important.
they're investing that kind of money one day at a time. Interesting. So tell me about NAD.
Well, we're going to talk about 10 things that it does. Number one, energy production. Tell me about that.
So energy production, it's really interesting. NAD is super, super important for energy production. You know, when you were in, high school chemistry or biology, you probably heard about the Krebs cycle and how that's super important for making energy, little molecule called ATP.
It was something they couldn't wait to forget, but they did have to hear about it.
Right.
In a sense, you eat fruit, sugar, your body turns that into glucose, and then glucose into ATP. ATP is the money for your whole system.
And no NAD, no ATP.
Exactly.
Super important. Secondly, mitochondrial function.
Mitochondria are, in a sense, the powerhouse of your cell. So in a sense, you got to have NAD to make ATP. Mitochondria are going to make that.
Yes. So it's important for endurance, brain power, and ultimately healthy aging.
Yes, because mitochondria, when they're functioning properly, produce less free radicals. Mitochondria start producing less function. They produce more free radicals, which causes more oxidative stress.
Definitely. So number 3.
DNA repair. Tell me more about that.
So obviously, when you have damage in the cell, the DNA being part of that DNA can be damaged as well. And it's required, it's like a required cofactor for the enzyme PARPs. So I wasn't familiar with that, PARPs. That was a new one for me. But it's super important for repairing damaged DNA.
Everyone has damaged DNA. Why not repair it?
Yes. So you don't want to have damaged DNA. You want to repair it, and also to protect the cells from more damage.
Number 4, sirtuin activation. They're longevity genes.
Tell me about sirtuins.
Sirtuins are 7 proteins that your cells make when they're healthy. And sirtuins actually need NAD for a fuel. It's like having a car, no gas, doesn't work. Gas works fine. But sirtuins basically, they regulate metabolism, inflammation, and aging process.
Super important. Definitely. Number 5. Number 5 actually is kind of a culmination of the first 4, because it's actually supporting, the NAD is supporting each of those 4 different pathways, which actually helps with regulating or minimizing cellular damage. Again, very important.
And who doesn't want more vitality as you get older?
Definitely. How about number 6?
Nervous system and brain function. I think most people, I think you would agree, brain function is super important.
Yes. The interesting thing about NAD is it supports the myelin repair. So
Myelin, they might not know what myelin is. You might not know. So myelin actually is like the plastic around electrical wire. It protects the nerves from damage.
So the nerve is like the electrical wire that's got the myelin is that coating.
Right.
It's protecting it. So
Right.
there's diseases that actually destroy that myelin. So when you can protect it, you can protect yourself from some of those diseases.
They call them neurodegenerative diseases.
That's right. So NAD is super important for minimizing neurodegeneration.
Number 7 is metabolism regulation.
Ooh, so metabolic health. This is a very popular topic these days. Everybody's talking about metabolic health. So the NAD is super important for helping to regulate your metabolic health. Interestingly, it actually has a positive influence on fat burning, as well as
That's a good thing.
as well as glucose control, and surprisingly, cholesterol balance.
I did not know that. That was something new for
It
me.
was new to me too.
How about number 8, cellular stress resistance?
So cellular stress resistance, when you think of cellular stress, one of the things that we talk about these days is oxidative stress. So oxidation, the rusting inside the cell, that is caused by free radicals. So basically the NAD helps to minimize that oxidative stress by kind of eating up the little free radicals, or at least detoxifying them to a certain
One of those
effect.
enzymes that you need to do that is glutathione. Really, really important molecule.
Yes.
And we activate that as well.
Yes. The NAD does.
Number 9, immune function. So for immune function, if your immune system is actually attacking yourself through inflammation or chronic inflammation, basically NAD is needed to actually help lower that immune response because it's hyperactive there. And so that really helps by reducing inflammation.
Very important. And number 10.
Muscle activity recovery.
So as a PT, this really caught your attention.
Well, yeah, I was, being a triathlete and all that and exercising a lot, muscle recovery is super important, and endurance as well.
So NAD helps to support the strength in the muscles, also the recovery of the muscles, as well as the endurance.
Because when you're exercising, that is a stress to the muscle cell, basically.
Good
And-
stress causes a little bit of damage.
Yeah, it breaks it down, then rebuilds stronger, but NAD is helpful in that process.
So that's our 10. Help them understand a little bit more, maybe with an illustration, about what NAD is like.
Well, you have a lot of NAD around in your body, it's just not usable. So in a sense, it's like you could have 2 different scenarios. You could have a leaky faucet, and you basically just keep pouring more in to try to keep the level up, or you could repair it.
Or leaky bucket.
A leaky bucket. You could put a recycling thing where it actually kept that bucket full all the time, or you could just try to limp along and fill it up as it's leaking. So that's one way.
So NAD is important for the recycling of and the keeping the levels full, in essence.
Well, in a sense, your body will use NAD. It's like a car battery or electric cars. So in the beginning, you can recharge, and it works great. As that battery starts to age, it's less and less. That's what NAD in a sense. You have the NAD, it's used, and it's got to be recycled and reprocessed to be able to be active again. So essentially, we have a pathway, NAMPT, that basically an enzyme that helps recycle the unusable NAD. And too much NAD in the body, when it's not usable form, actually blocks sirtuins from actually doing their job. So you need that recycling function to happen. So let's say you get an IV. Well, you're dumping a whole bunch of NAD plus into the bloodstream. That doesn't guarantee it goes into the cell. So that cell still has to do some work to it actually has to break it down, and which actually starts the recycling function. So you're never getting pure NAD just to go into the cell. It doesn't work that way. So what we're doing is kind of getting around that, is we're just, all that usable NAD in your system, we're turning on the system that recycles that through that enzyme process, and it's amazing.
So we found a way to actually activate the recycling and the
It's like keeping that bucket full all the time.
Keeping the bucket full.
Keeping the batteries in the car
Full.
recharging and full.
We'd love to share more with you about that. Please feel free to reach out. And we want you to be vibrant, healthy, and have your NAD functioning at the top level through a natural pathway.
We want you to thrive. And be sure and check the description below for a link to our website. You can check out the NAD Synergizer on there and actually check out NRF2 and NRF1 as well, because those three activators, we use them every day. And they work synergistically together to do all the things we talked about and more.
And we're super excited to help you to thrive better. And it's helpful for us to get this word out if you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
Aloha.
Aloha.